Right, vlog number 4 for Veganuary. How am I faring now? So one of the key things that I've noticed over the last sort of week to 10 days is my gym performance. It kind of feels like it's gone down. I don't feel as strong. I don't feel like there's as much in the tank. If I would traditionally train for like an hour and a quarter, for example, which is quite common for me 3 times a week, then I'm kind of gassing out around the 45-50 minute mark. There's just not as much in the tank. That's all I can describe it as. It's not a carbohydrate issue because I'm eating plenty of carbohydrates, as you could imagine, on a plant-based diet. So I'm not really sure. I'm starting to really try and pay attention a bit more to my protein sources and the different like amino acids in it to make sure I'm kind of getting enough. Now, with that being said, I think it's leading into me losing my mojo a little bit in the gym. I've also hurt my back, so I'm resting a little bit. I'm not playing rugby at the moment to make sure it tries to get better. So that loss of strength with the rugby is probably making me think not that bothered about going to the gym. I went to the gym yesterday and ended up doing about 40 minutes of weights and then had a bit of a swim. And it's not like me. I did the job that I knew I needed to do rather than like really enjoying it and pushing myself and kind of hunting some progress. So I'm not that bothered by it because ultimately we go to the gym for lots of different reasons. I also benefited from just being in the gym, changing my environment, getting some exercise, not thinking about anything else for a while. So there's always lots of benefits. So I'm not really that frustrated by it. It's all good. One of the things that is definitely improved is my hunger. I don't really feel anymore like I'm missing something, like, oh my god, like where's the lump of meat on my plate. I don't have that anymore. And because I've varied my protein sources, I've tried lots of different things now, I'm enjoying the different protein sources that I'm having. So some of the, like the Linda McCartney sausages I had the other night were really nice. The corn burgers I had were really nice. I'm trying to do different things with tofu. It's still okay. The secret to tofu is definitely marinating it and spending some time. So again, it's like thinking quite far in advance to say, okay, I want to have tofu tomorrow. I'll marinate it today. I want to have this breakfast tomorrow. Okay, I'll make some overnight oats today. So there's a lot more for me thinking one day ahead, whereas usually I'll quite often get up, look in my fridge and make the food that's in my fridge. It's not that I don't plan the food to buy. It's just I don't really plan like a day in advance. There's a new habit for me, which is making it a little bit harder, but it's just really a change of routine. So I have to accept that. So I think that's quite interesting. Again, I'm trying more variety of different things. I have to slowly introduce recipes because I'm probably, like most people, stuck in my ways to a degree with some of the foods that I like. And I think that could be said for everyone. Going into the supermarket and buying a whole different array of new foods and recipes, like it's a lot of change and it takes a lot of time in the kitchen to just go through all these different processes. So the way that I am changing my diet is probably not ideal, and there's probably lots of other people that are struggling like I am, but that's the way I decided to go about it. So there we go. So I've got some interesting podcasts coming up at the moment. As a result of getting involved in Veganuary, I've kind of invested a lot more time and awareness and attention around the ethical arguments in the scene, the sustainability arguments. I still don't feel any kind of compulsion that ethically veganism is something that I want to pursue for an ethical reason. It's not something that I believe in, not yet anyway. The sustainability reasons behind making more plant-based choices is very interesting to me. I've got a few reports that I want to read from some recent research that's been done just in 2018 that Zanna Van Dyke put me onto. She's on this week's podcast on Thursday. And I think that's maybe some information that I'm not going to be able to ignore. It's really fascinating. Like, where is the world going with meat production, dairy production? Where's the population growing to? Can we sustain that in the way that we should? So while we could sit here and say, okay, meat production is sustainable, but it has to be going to a more factory farmed model. So yeah, that's pigs in a little pen with no room to move. So if we want happy pigs roaming around fields and we all want to eat free range eggs and chickens, all that kind of stuff, then actually the farming model has to change, which means we need to reduce our meat consumption, because those both models, they don't work synergistically. So we have to decide as a population, what do we want? What do we want for the future of our food? And I think this is an absolutely fascinating conversation that I'm getting more involved in. So I'm how many days in now? I'm 16 days into Veganuary. I'm still getting, my feet moving with it, food variety. I'm really buying into some of the sustainability arguments, but I haven't looked at enough of the data yet. I've had some really interesting conversations with Susanna van Dijk and deliciously Ella Mills. So I'm really excited for you to listen to them on the podcast. Otherwise, that's it from me for now. I'm now going to go and eat a meal that I've got from Mitch's Kitchen. I've had 3 meals from Mitch's Kitchen already, and very, very good. Very impressed. Well done, Mitch's Kitchen. And thank you for sending me some meals to try out. I'm very impressed. A bean and lentil-based cottage pie is something that I never thought I would eat, and I ate it, and it was absolutely beautiful, and I had a massive portion for like 650 calories. It was mental. It was so filling. Anyway, that's me out. I'll check back in a couple of days' time. I am going to Italy next week, and being vegan in Italy could be an interesting challenge. Ciao.